easy go.
What's up guys, my name is Zero Heroes and welcome back to World of Tanks, a replays or World of Tanks, and today we have the honour of watching Tim play in his Object 268 version 4. Now, why is this vehicle... Now, there's actually been a lot of buffs and nerfs to this vehicle. Now, the recent one was a couple nerfs because this vehicle was actually very, very overpowered. I mean, before this thing was nerfed, the only weak spot you could do is like underneath here, and it's literally impossible. But now that they've nerfed it, you can actually pin it with your normal AP, but you have to aim very carefully. And if you've got heat or APCR, you'll be able to pin it easily. But Tim is particularly, he's not going to, I'll give you a wee swat, he's not going to particularly do a big massive amount of damage. I'm just here to show you, do I think that the Object 268 version 4 is overpowered? Do I think it's still overpowered? Yes and no. And the reason I'm saying yes and no, no because of its nerfs, you know, how the armor's been reduced, and I think the terrain, I think the traverse speed's been nerfed and a few things, but it can do big shots like that, 639. Now this gun is actually quite weird because you usually have, these guns usually have an alpha damage of 750, but this gun does 650, and you can get low rolls like that, which is 598, but as you can see, the nerfs you can see that the traverse speed is, you know, coming into effect, where you can actually outmaneuver this vehicle. And as you can see, Tim has already lost more than half his hit points. He's playing very aggressively on this map. Now, unfortunate bounce there, but he did bounce a shot from that. But the armor layout of this, if you aim for the front, you know, beside the gun, you know, I'm just going to take control of the camera here. If you shoot, you know, here, hold on, if you shoot like here, you know, on the upper hull, that's 260 millimeters, and the sides are 100. Oh, that was a wee bit of a mistake there from, you know, Tim. He didn't aim a shot there, but luckily he bounced the WZ with heat. And yeah, but it's got 100 at the side and then 45 at the rear. But you should always keep your front to this to your enemies, because if they get the side of the rear, then you've seen what happened. They'll outmaneuver you and they'll kill you. But there you go. That was a WZ shooting heat, which has maybe around about 340, maybe more or maybe less, and he bounced. So that's how powerful this thing is from the front. Now, the penetration on the AP rounds are 293, yeah, and if that's not enough for some reason, if you think that's not enough, then you can use heat, which goes up to 360 millimeters. Now, if you use a HE, if you manage to get, you know, like a Gorilla 15, and you use load the HE, you do 840 damage with 90 millimeters of penetration, which is actually not bad. That's quite high up with the British tanks as well. But you know, like other things such as a reload time of this gun is 16.30, but I'm sure Tim has equipment on this, so I'm sure he's got it lower. You've got the aiming time, which is 2.4, but of course that will be you know, down as well due to his equipment. And looks like Centurion has almost outmaneuvered Tim, but oh, he has, and he actually kills the Object, and the Centurion one bounces off him. Oh my god. Now what Tim is actually doing here is very good. This is what you should always do in your TDs, is back yourself up into a wall. If you don't have a turret, then back yourself up into the wall, because you have no turret, if you're out in the open, you can get light tanks and fast heavies and fast mediums. They can, or TDs with turrets, they can always outmaneuver you, so always back up to a wall. And he's also doing something here, which is actually Tim tracked him, and then he kept ramming into him ever so slightly, so kept him tracked. So that's something you should always take in when you're playing your TDs. You'll always back up to a wall, because that means nothing can get around you, and you can always, that means you can, get them, if they trying to flank you, because they won't be able to. They might be able to get your sides, but you'll be able, because you have a wall behind you, you'll be able to, shoot them quite easily. Now, I must tell you that the the gun restraints, should I say, is it's 15. I think it's 15 degrees to the left and 15 degrees to the right. So that's when the gun. Let me just quickly show you. That's when the gun moves, left and right here. I think it's 15 degrees to the right and 15 degrees to the left. I'm just looking in Tanks GG. I think it is. So that means you do have your limitations as well with this tank. That means you can't really, turn it as well as, as some other TDs, tier 10, tank destroyers, which do have more. And you've got 370 meters of view range, so you will have to maybe put coated optics or binoculars on this tank, because if you just have it stocked with a terrible crew, then of course you might not spot for yourself. So I would definitely, train your crew to get view range and put equipment on it too. But you can, yeah, this tank is pretty accurate, with the shell velocity of AP rounds being 960, and the shell cost is 1,650, and the potential damage for this thing in total is 19,500. Now that there, Tim in total did a maximum of 5,875, 3,000, almost 4k block damage, and 554 assistance done. Now, you probably have seen better games than Tim here, but this just shows what you can look forward to when you're going up this line. All you need to do is just keep this tank forward to your opponents, and then they can't pound you. But of course, with the nerfs, it made this thing a wee bit less, overpowered. But the overall question is, do I think this vehicle is still overpowering? Well, yes and no. Maybe no, because it has its weaknesses, but yes, because it's still difficult to pen the front. It hasn't got the same speed as last time, but I still think it's quite, there is new tanks now that come into the game, and this tank has been out for a while. It's pretty new, but it's been out in the game for a while. But I think this vehicle is okay. I sometimes, when I play this, when I'm up against this tank, I sometimes do struggle to, when I'm up against it, I do struggle to penetrate it. But when I do, I usually have to load gold, because it's hard to penetrate with standard rounds, and that's one of the weak. That's obviously the annoying part of when you're playing this tank, is that whenever an enemy sees you in this vehicle, they'll load the heat instantly, because they know they can't paint you with normal rounds, kind of like a Type 5. But this tank is very extraordinary. It's special in its own ways from other tank destroyers in the game. But anyway, we will now move on to the results, and I'm sorry I haven't done much gameplay, but I really wanted to concentrate the video on why I think the version 4 is, do I think it's overpowered. But let's go to the results and see how well Tim did. So let's go. Okay, here we are. So he didn't quite get an ace tanker, but he did get a first class. He did get a Pascucci's medal for destroying at least 2 SPGs, a steel wall for his 4k block damage, as you can see. Yep, almost 4k and 3,950. He also got a high caliber for his 5,000, almost 6,000 damage game, and he also got a top gun for his 6 kills as well. Now he was on top of his team by experience and by damage as well, so he got 1,150 experience, which is more than his team and the enemy team combined. As well as damage done, he got 2 times more than the enemy and his team combined. So yeah, that is the that is the Object 268 version 4, and of course he did make some credits as he was using a premium account, which he made a nice 42,000 credits. And even if he didn't make even if he didn't have a premium account, he would have maybe made just above the credits or just broke even. But there you go, that is Tim in the Object 268 version 4. What do you guys think of the Object 268 version 4? Do you think it still needs its nerf? Do you think it needs buffed? Do you think it's quite balanced now that Wargaming did its nerfs? Tell me down below in the comments down below. Anyway guys, I'd like to thank you so much for watching. If you did enjoy, make sure you leave a like, comment down below, subscribe, share, you know all the Shazam, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you later. Goodbye.